Hi Bill members, in today's tutorial, I will be breaking down 10 tips and techniques to help you to spin better. So let's get down into it. Point number 1, there are two main driving forces of your pivot, and these are your hips and your feet. A big reason why a lot of dancers struggle to achieve their multiple turns is because they're not creating enough rotational energy when they try to spin or turn, and this is where this technique is super important. Both your hips and your feet needs to work together in order to create the rotational energy when you spin. It's never good to start your turn with only your foot without the hips or your hips without the foot. So it's really important to bear this in mind, and a little guiding rule for you is that you want to imagine that your feet and your hips are always facing the same direction. Make sure you implement this whenever you're spinning. Point number 2, you always want to start your twist well by creating enough rotational energy so that your belly button faces the back as soon as possible. A common mistake amongst dancers who first start to learn spinning is that they're not focusing on where their body is facing enough. So remember this, guys, the faster your body can face the back than the front, the faster you will complete your turn. So the next time you're practicing your spins and your turns and you find yourself struggling to complete your turn or to go with enough rotational energy, I want you to remember this. Instead of thinking about facing your body to the side by just starting your turn, I want you to face your belly button to the back as soon as possible, and that is already half a turn done, and all you need to do is complete by facing the front again. Point number 3, this is something I explain in almost every class, and that is to engage your core. You do that by bringing your belly button in and elongating your spine. And guys, I want you to remember this. Understand why it's important to apply certain techniques. We apply the technique of engaging our core not because it gives us more stability, not because it makes us more grounded, not because it makes us faster. That is the consequence of us engaging our core because it connects our lower body and our upper body. So remember that. That is what engaging your core does. So by bringing your belly button in and elongating your spine, you are connecting your upper and your lower body so that you can spin and turn in one unit. Here's the difference of me spinning with engagement and without. So with engagement, you can see that my entire body is spinning as one unit and it looks super strong, versus if I'm not engaging my core, everything is very loose. You can see that my hips are going first, my chest are going first, I'm finishing with my hips first and my chest is facing the other direction. So that is not going to help you spin well. So remember, you must engage your core when you dance all the time. Point number 4, I wrote it down in my hand. Your preparation is as important as your spin. You must take care of your transition. I've seen dancers where they prepare really well, but their transition is not great because, like what I mentioned in the previous point, they allow their body to go first and they leave their hips behind. Or they start with their feet first and they allow their upper body to go behind. So remember this, your transition from your preparation into your spin is super important. Of all the 3 points that I've already mentioned, keeping your feet and your toes aligned, holding your core, facing your belly button to the back. All these things are your checklist of techniques that you must have when you start from the preparation into the transition into the spin. Do not neglect that transition. Point number 5. Whenever you're spotting, which is really important when you spin, remember this, the technique and the way it should be done, it should be that your head is last to go but first to reach. Okay, so let me do that again. Remember, your body goes first, but you're spotting. Your head is last to go and first to reach. So when you're practicing your spots, remember that. Point number 6. The faster you